All right, all right. Come on in. Let me see, make sure I can see the chat. So let me know if you can hear me. You should be able to hear me. Yep. What's up? What's up? Okay. Come on, everyone, get in here quick because I can't stay on for too long, but we have something to talk about. We have something to talk about here. This is not what people were expecting, besides me. So let's talk about this. Apparently, I just saw a notification that Donald Trump has just used Bitcoin to pay at a bar in New York. So that's apparently positive. Hello. If you can see this, if you can hear me, just drop a comment. Just tell me you can hear me, you can see me, just say hello. We got 433 people. We're just going to wait for a few more. Then we can get started. If you're following on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Go over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube and come over to Twitter or X if you have an account and follow me there. It's extremely important. The algorithms need spanking, and we have to spank the algorithms. And the only way you can do that is the speed at which people subscribe. So please do that. That's really the only way that you can help me. So please do that. Okay, here. Okay, people can hear me. Okay, cool. Perfect. So the Federal Reserve. Let's get into this because I don't have much time and we need to discuss what's going on here. We just jumped from 450 to 650 people watching right now live. It's in the middle of the day. I appreciate every single one of you. This is very, very important to understand what the hell is actually going on here, because I think a lot of people, this has caught them off guard. And the moment, everyone's fighting, it's going to be 25 basis points. It's going to be 50 basis points. It's going to be more than that. It's going to be in the middle. It's going to be 0.375, etc., etc. The dilemma that the Federal Reserve faced here was very, very simple. They wanted a 0.25% cut. The market wanted a 0.5% cut. And really, America needs a greater than 1% cut. Now, the reason why it's a dilemma is you can't go and tell the market, oh, we're going to cut way more. Sorry, just give me 1 second. All right, turn this off. Right. So the market wanted 0.5%. You could tell that because JP Morgan and everyone else was coming out in the media and saying this has to be a 0.5% cut, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what the market wanted. Goldman, I think, said the same thing. BlackRock said the same thing. Everyone was coming out telling the Fed, this is what you need to do. And of course, the market always wins, right? But the Federal Reserve didn't want to signal more than a 2.25%, 25 bips cut, because what it signals is maybe there's something wrong with the economy. And then the market starts dipping, right? And generally now what you see in history is as soon as the rate cut cycle starts, there is a dipping that happens in the market because people start taking profits in anticipation for a weakening economy. And then at some point, stimulus is injected, and that stimulus then rides the market up, and then everyone's confident. The difference is that we've got twice the 30-year average of cash sitting on the sidelines, right? Twice the 30-year average of cash sitting on the sidelines. So this dip may not be as deep as what most people would expect it to be based on previous crashes. So just remember, this is the beginning of this circus, and the last day that this circus is in town is November 5th on the election day. November 6th, this all goes away, certainty comes flooding back in, and everyone is much happier. So this is a good good cut. I watched the whole press conference, and it basically, Jerome Powell is a magician, right? He has been saying they won't do more than 0.25. He's saying all of this stuff, and then he basically came out and made it sound like we should have expected a 50 basis point cut. He's a magician. That's all I can say, right? There is no one else. Ben Bernanke would not have been able to do this. Nobody else would have been able to do this besides Jerome Powell. And there's a lot of hate for Jerome Powell because he is, running the head of the snake. But this managed to do a great job with it. We currently have 1,500 people watching live. I want to say I appreciate every single one of you. I want to say, it's probably been a tough couple months watching this thing go sideways for 6 months, really, for Bitcoin going sideways. S&P 500 making new all-time high, NASDAQ making new all-time high. You're sitting there wondering, what the hell's going on here? And the reality is that the true signal is Bitcoin. And the fact is that the economy is not, the markets are not doing as well, right? They're being pumped up right now, cash sitting on the sidelines and everything else. But this is bullish. This is extremely bullish. Now, what did I say when the cut happened on Twitter, right? What I said was the Fed cuts rates by 50 basis points, first cut in 4 years. The market always wins because the market wanted 50 basis points. I then proceeded at a second tweet immediately after that. I said, brace for a market dip as market messaging has now shifted and entered a new paradigm. Profit taking will happen. All eyes on the press conference, right? But a few minutes after that, I tweeted out again, just to make it very clear, because everyone on Twitter, I saw everyone was going nuts. This is great. Send it to the moon. Oh my God, it's never going to come down again. Send it up. Everything's going crazy. We're all going through the roof. And I've been trying to warn for the last 6 months that the moment the Fed cuts, you're probably going to see a profit-taking moment. And then there's going to be a moment where that profit-taking stops, and then the capital can start coming back in. And of course, September is not the best month for Bitcoin or markets. So we have to brace for this. I don't want anyone watching my channel getting sucked into all of the BS that's out there with everyone going, Fed cut rates, let's start, pump it up and let's start going again. That's not how this works. There's going to be a moment of pause. There's going to be a moment of reflection as to what's going on, what this means, how it translates, et cetera, et cetera. And the market is, I'm not saying people in Bitcoin are going to take profits, but the market will take profits because a rate cutting moment is a signal that the economy is not as good as everyone thinks it is. And there may be some weakening. And so profit must be taken. So, and I've been having a lot of people on Twitter saying that, my price predictions are wrong. Of course they're wrong. Everyone's price predictions are wrong. The only reason I put short-term price predictions out there is because it's boring right now, right? Everyone's going to be right. Everyone in Bitcoin is going to be right over the long term because the chart is up and to the right. There are morons out there like Spaghetti Boy who needs to come and say, invent some mathematics to basically say up and to the right, right? Everyone is going to be right over the long term on Bitcoin because it is as simple as an unlimited amount of fiat money chasing a scarce asset. However, short term, it's irrelevant, right? It's irrelevant. We'll go over one of my predictions in a second, right? So immediately after I put those tweets out there, I started seeing a barrage of tweets. Everyone's losing their minds, right? Saying this is all bullish, et cetera, et cetera. And I tweeted out 2 hours ago now, and I immediately after the rate cuts, and I said, this is not a short-term bullish cut in my immediate opinion. Eyes on the press conference, sideways until November is still in play. And that's the mindset that I want you to have. If you're following anything I'm saying, you're trying to understand how to navigate these markets, sideways until November is the mindset that's going to keep you the strongest. Because this circus is not over until November 5th. The circus is not over until November 5th. Pull your head out of your ass and understand that we are in this sideways pattern until November 5th, right? And then, of course, what did Jerome Powell do in the press conference? He did a really, really good job as far as I'm concerned, right? As far as I'm concerned, he's a magician, right? He basically said, we're never going to do more than a 2.25% cut. Comes out, announces a 50 basis point cut. By the end of the press conference or his speech, you kind of felt like you were stupid if you expected anything else, besides a 50 basis point cut. That is the skill of Jerome Powell right now. He made it feel like this was completely and utterly expected. What did he do there? He basically pivoted the market, the smart money, to realizing that not much profit taking has to happen, and this is completely in the plan of what's going on here. It wasn't completely in the plan because he never said that. So this is mega bullish for the next 12 to 18 months. However, it's a dice roll what happens in the next 2 weeks. So that's how I want you to think about it. This is extremely bullish because if Jerome Powell can turn heads like that in a press conference, imagine what the Federal Reserve is going to do once they start putting stimulus out there in the market. So this is extremely bullish 12 to 18 months. It is not extremely bullish in the next 2 weeks. Not only do we have the negativity of September hanging over our heads, dealing with a fucking sore throat. I'm going to strepsil. So not only do we have the negativity of September rolling over our heads, hanging over our heads, we now have this issue where the Fed had basically cut more than anyone wanted, or more than they wanted, which sends a signal out there. Everything sends a signal out there. Everything is marketing. Everything sends a signal out there. I always like to mute before I cough, so I hope you guys appreciate that. So the good news is that stimulus is coming. The good news is that Bitcoin is the fastest horse in this next 2-year rate cut cycle. It is. BlackRock knows it. Everyone knows it. The smart money is coming for it. Smart money owns it. The smart money is owning it. Your only job right now is to make sure that you are satisfied with the amount of Bitcoin that you own by the time this turns around. That's it. You got people, and I want to use words to describe them that I can't, because this also goes out on YouTube. I guess we've got a little bit more, I don't know, leniency on X, but can't use these words that I want to use to describe people that are bearish right now. In fact, I want everyone to use the words that you know that I want to use in the comments, because I think you guys can do it. I just can't say it. So bottom line is this. Wow, we have 2,700 people watching this right now. Understand, sideways till November is going to be the best mindset to have. We are probably going sideways at least until the election. At least until the election, we're going sideways. My throat is not playing ball at all right now. Getting fucking text messages. What is going on here? Yeah, there we go. You guys are getting it right. Use the curse words that you know I want to use in the comments. I would appreciate it. So get to as much Bitcoin as you want to get to. Be satisfied with that, because this is turning around. This is extremely bullish. Bitcoin is the fastest horse in the race. Holy shit. Hold on. Give me a second. Anyone got any questions? We'll do the last 10 minutes of questions. I told you I can't be on for long today, and that's why. Yep. Happy hippies. There you go. Look at this. I like this. I like this energy right here. He's a fucking whole coiner now. Let's fucking go. I like that. I'm proud of you. Look at this. Look, why asked me this dumb question? Yeah, I'm gonna crawl through the southern border, and then I'm gonna place 5 votes, and then I'm gonna vote for Trump. So that makes sense, considering I'm not an American. Come on, guys. Look, There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Well, I'm just looking for the tweet. Give me a second. And I said this. This is the beginning, the first step of another decade-long looser and looser monetary policy cycle. This is going to be like the roaring 20s in the US, and it's all led by the demographics. And Tom Lee has pointed this out very well. And Bitcoin will be the biggest beneficiary. So you need to get to, how do I hide this? You need to get to 1 Bitcoin right fucking now, because the boat, it's turning. Everything is going in this direction. You need to get to 1 Bitcoin as fast as possible. Stop listening to the short-term bullshit and getting distracted by it. The bottom line is this. You get to your 1 Bitcoin, you hug it tight, don't do anything stupid with it, and understand that no matter what the Federal Reserve has done today, no matter what happens over the next 2 weeks, this is mega bullish long-term because of the pivot that's happened today. Go watch the press conference. It's very, very important. And ultimately, even with a bad throat, there are always only 3 rules to Bitcoin. Step number 1, you buy Bitcoin. Step number 2, shut the fuck up. And step number 3, you get fabulously wealthy. I love all of you. 3,000 people watching.